Welcome to Big Daddy's Story Time. We're reading a book from Disney's Winnie the Pooh, Make the Best of It. Book 16, Lessons from the Hundred Acre Wood. When things don't go the way you plan, don't let that spoil your day. Just make things work the best you can, and you'll have more fun that way. Oh, my! I have so much to get ready, said Piglet, scurrying about his little house. He had invited his friends over for haycorn muffins. It was going to be a very busy day. Oh my, oh dear, worried Piglet. What shall I do first? He began sweeping his front yard. Then then he was ready to make the haycorn muffins. Piglet stood before his cupboard. It was looking rather empty. He was all out of flour and honey and haycorns. Oh, dear, said Piglet. I have to go gather some haycorns and borrow some honey and flour, too. I hope that won't take too long. Piglet took his favorite basket outside, where a blustery wind was blowing haycorns onto the ground. Piglet had quickly filled the basket to the very top when Tigger suddenly bounced over to him. "Hiya, buddy old pal!" Tigger cried. Tigger bounced completely emptied Piglet's basket. It was just I was just gathering some haycorns, Piglet said sadly. Uh, it looks like you got plenty right here, buddy boy, Tigger said. Hey, Tigger cried, gathering a bunch of haycorns. Let me show you my basket filling bounce. As Tigger bounced high into the air, he let go of the haycorns. They all flew everywhere but into the basket. Oh, gosh, said Tigger. I wonder what's the matter with these silly haycorns. Let me give it another try. That's all right, Tigger, said Piglet. I'll just fill the basket myself again. Piglet hadn't planned on gathering haycorns twice, and it took even longer to fill the basket this time. Oh my, said Piglet. It's getting rather late. I'll have to hurry if I want to borrow the flour and honey. Piglet took the basket home, emptied all the haycorns, then he ran over to Pooh's house. Pooh, called Piglet, may I borrow some honey? Why, of course, Piglet, Pooh said in a muffled voice. But I'm afraid that this honey pot is rather empty, sighed Pooh. It looks stuck. Let me help you, Pooh, Piglet replied. While Piglet pulled on the honey pot, Pooh pushed. After a sticky struggle, the honey pot flew off with a big, loud pop. Pooh reached into the cupboard and handed Piglet a small honey pot. Oh, thank you, Pooh, said Piglet as he hurried off. Next, he went to Rabbit's to ask for some flour. Making your muffins? Rabbit asked. Do you mind if I come over and help? That would be fine, Piglet agreed. So the two friends headed back to Piglet's house. While Piglet mixed the batter, Rabbit read the muffin recipe. Let's see, said Rabbit. This recipe makes 9 muffins. That means we can each have one. Unless, of course, you make a double batch, Rabbit remarked. Then we can each have 2. Or a triple batch, then we could each have 3. Rabbit was doing his muffin math. As Piglet listened to Rabbit, he was so busy adding muffins in his head that he lost count of the baking powder. He put 9 teaspoons in the batter instead of 4. Poor Piglet didn't even realize what he had done. After Rabbit left, Piglet put the muffins into the oven. The baking powder made the muffins rise and rise and rise. When Piglet opened the oven, he saw one big giant muffin. "Oh dear," said Piglet. "Nothing has gone the way I wanted it today." Piglet felt awful. His muffin party was ruined. Piglet stared hopelessly at his muffin cake. Maybe he could break it into muffin pieces. No, he decided. They would look too strange. Maybe he could just send everyone home. No, he thought, that wouldn't be very polite. "Oh dear," Piglet said to himself. "What would Pooh do? There must be some way to save the muffin cake." "I've got it!" Piglet cried, clapping his hands. Piglet went back to work. He took out several bowls to make frosting in pink, purple, orange, red, green, and blue. Piglet took his time and frosted the cake very carefully. When Piglet was done, he stood back to look at his cake. "Oh my! It's not so bad after all," he said. Then, with a smile on his face, he finished cleaning up. Minutes later, all his friends appeared at his door. "These muffins smell absolutely wonderful, Buddy boy," cried Tigger. Let me at 'em." "Well, actually," Piglet replied, "we're not having muffins." "Not having muffins?" gasped Rabbit. "Whatever do you mean?" Piglet led his friends over to the table. Nobody said a word. That is, until they saw Piglet's amazing muffin cake. "Why, Piglet," said Kinga, "what a beautiful cake." "I'll say, simply splendiferous," Piglet, old pal, Tigger cried. Piglet had decorated a part of the cake for each of his friends. "The muffins didn't turn out the way I planned," Piglet explained, "so I tried to make the best of things." Pooh smiled at his friend. "You certainly did, Piglet," he agreed. And with his friends, and as the friends shared the muffin cake, even Piglet had to admit it was the best haycorn treat he had ever made. A lesson a day, Pooh's way. When things don't go the way you plan, make the best of it. So what we could take away from this, my friends, is this. Sometimes the parties you do or things you plan on don't turn out the way that you think they should. But in the end, you can make the best of it and also have fun, like Piglet did with his friends. So be blessed, and I'll see you next time on Big Daddy's Story Time.